Hey boys and girls, what's up? We are still climbing the rating ladder. This is off the back of a loss in the third game yesterday, but my opponent played extremely well. Okay, literally was it 1750. So we've got an 1134. What are we going to do? Let's go Scotch and Goering Gambit. Why not? Could have gone Vienna. They really need to take here. If you push forwards, you win a tempo. Okay. Now this is actually a free pawn. But this one here is, I can't have the cat licking me at the same time. Okay, so if I take here, is he just going to take that? But then queen here, he'll have to defend the knight with one of his pawns, won't he? I just feel like this can't be right. Or I could come here, and he has to move that knight. I don't know the best move here. I can take that with a knight, I can take that with a pawn, or I can just push on. I'm going to go with push on, because this knight's the only defender of that. So when that knight moves, that is a free pawn. Although this one is still hanging. I can defend by bringing out my own knight. Where's he going to go? He's got a couple of places there, or it's a retreat. And that going back to e7 can't be good, because he's in the queen's way, he's in the bishop's way. He's just weakened the knight. So, but if he comes here, I can kick him out again, then I'll have to go to a6. I could even take him out then. What do you want? Eh? What do you want? Very cuddly cat this morning. Okay, so we didn't get a Goering Gambit. Opponent is my Pollux. After Castor and Pollux from, I think, Roman history, from South Korea. Well, he's having a good think anyway. What? So if he goes here, I take, he recaptures, I can then defend this pawn. Probably knight c3 is the way to defend it. Knight c3 is going to be a good move anyway. This pawn is still under attack on e4 and is currently not defended. But it depends what my opponent wants to do. Knight comes here, I've got takes. Then I can't play knight c3 because there's a pawn looking at it. So if knight in, takes, might be bishop. Okay, wow, he's gone there. Okay, I'd like to defend this pawn. So I think knight c3 looks completely natural. It could be pinned. That's the only thing. Knight d2 is an alternative. Or I could just pin, let's pin the knight. So now my bishop's out of there, which means that knight d2 is more playable. Okay, this pawn still hangs. If I take there, we're going to get queen takes. Don't really want to invite the queen out. Let's just drop back. My bishop makes its way to g3. That's two attackers on there. Okay. Right, he hasn't taken the pawn. But he has defended there. Okay, also preparing to bring out its own light square bishop. I'm kind of fancying knight bd2 here. Actually, that said, this bishop can't pin anymore, so knight c3 might be preferable here. There it's paired up with a knight, with the other knight, and it's also not in the way of the c pawn. So I'm going to play knight bd2. Defends this, defends that. Need to think about castling as well. And I reckon probably kingside. Currently no blood has been shed. Black has already though weakened his pawns somewhat on the kingside, eh? Lots of pawns on dark squares. Okay, so do we play c4 here? He's now busy weakening his queenside as well. If I take here, probably take back with the knight, improving the knight. c4, and if takes, takes, seems fine. If we bring my bishop out, we could end up with a trade, and then after takes, it's not so good, so I think c4. So we've got quite good space. So we've got a pawn in the opponent's half of the board. Opponent is somewhat cramped. This bishop's going to have trouble now. We've got a closed d file right now, and if takes, I will recapture with c, so it'll remain closed. We've got a closed d file. Not much joy for that bishop. This bishop might find its way to g4, which makes me think, do I want to push h3 and just remove that option? You know, then is it going to end up sitting there, feeling a bit sorry for itself? The bishop could come out now, in which case probably bishop e2. Still defends this, knight defends both of those as well. My queen might have ideas about coming out into the board. So there takes. He's got to be careful about this, hasn't he? I don't know, because queen defends the knight. It is defended. This bishop's looking a little bit awkward, isn't it? Maybe h4. Maybe. Alright, queen out. b3 is very natural. I mean, b pawn's currently under attack. Yeah. We are all a bit falling over ourselves. Okay, that's interesting, because that's the only good square that bishop had, really, this guy. And I'm thinking now h3, knight can't go there. Oh, that's not your plan, is it? Knight in, takes, queen takes, check, queen blocks. No, that's just giving up a knight for a pawn. Takes, queen e2. There, takes. Bishop's not under attack. Knights are still there. No, h3 it is. Oh, I've just noticed the bishop guards f2. Crikey. I was a bit worried there for a minute. I thought I'd blundered mate. Oh. So he's had some very, very slow moves and some very, very quick ones. Right, so I do want to get this bishop out. Okay, off you go then. On your way, son. Do I want to put the bishop there? I mean, it does defend these two pawns. That is under attack once, it is defended once. But my bishop has much more scope on this diagonal, so I'm thinking bishop e2. Can't take here. And castles. And I reserve the right to push h4. Well, where's this king going to go as well? That's another consideration. I might also like to move the f-pawn, get my bishop on here. But that means moving the knight, and the knight is currently stranded. Got no forward motion at all. But castles is my plan. Another option could even be like sacking in the middle of the board, you know. Bishop takes, pins. What on earth are you doing now? Could come in here. It's not. I'm going to just castle. I think the idea was that he could maybe take there while my king was still on e1, because the knight couldn't capture, but now it can. Ideas of a3, but then queen c3, and I've just weakened the back of my pawn chain for no reason. Oh, okay. We have action. Now, I'm thinking, keep this kind of pawn chain going. Capture with E, opening up the centre, seeing as he's not castled. Alternative is this, which does give my bishop more scope. I feel like this is the correct way. I've got a couple of problem pieces. This knight doesn't have much going for it. No, this is just natural. Open up the e-file while the king's still on the e-file. Might have to bring my knight back here, something like that, I don't know. Still got good dark square control, so my bishop is pretty blunt right now. Unless I still want to go for this kind of idea. So maybe rook e1, sack the knight, for example. Bishop's on here then, pinning this knight against the rook. Yeah. And then when I move this bishop somewhere, could have a discovered check. Right, is that a signal that castling is going to come? Is it time to think carefully about a sacrifice in the middle? If his king goes there, is that something I want to prevent or not? Notice this knight is undefended as well. So he takes, and then I take with the knight. He can't castle because I hit this rook. Sorry, I capture this pawn, forking both rooks, because his rook will be on d8. Takes, knight in there. Threatening this pawn, threatening the bishop. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. Yes, it's two central pawns for a minor piece, which is not bad. Although I just need to keep kind of engaging my pieces in preparation for an attack. I really want to play this as well. Queen defends the knight there. See, my dark squared bishop does have scope on the queen side. So black's king side pawns are on dark squares, which is making life hard for these two pieces on that side of the board. But if my bishop can come to here, could spring into life. Could attack the centre. Something like this. Start to bring my pieces around. Hit the queen here. This knight then has a square. Let's just revisit this idea. Takes. I think prevents castles. Let's do it. Come on, let's go for it. Let's sacrifice some stuff. takes and takes, and then I have a commanding knight in the middle of the board. Right? I'm now controlling a bunch of squares. I think I have now improved my position. I think I can make a case for that, at the very least. We have an open file on the E file. Black can't castle, because his rook will end up here, and he'll lose a pawn and an exchange. I'm quite happy with my pawn structure. Black's pawn structure is a lot flimsier, as you can see. But, you know, these pawns here have started to make some progress up the king's side, where I am castled. My light square bishop is now not great because it's shielded by this. So at some point it might want to come here. I can actually play that. It's attacked by knight and bishop. But if takes, I've got knight takes, and then I've got queen takes. Could end up with a very active queen. Although, of course, I can't abandon this knight. Could even come here. Centralise the rook. Probably rook e1 is a good idea. Can't push there because I simply take with one of these. See, I think he wanted to castle. Oh, he's castled anyway, but I have this. Right, found a good move, look for a better one. Nope, can't find one. So I've won my pawn back. So he's now lost 4 pawns. He's got nothing on these files here. Only pieces. And this diagonal is starting to look a bit more attractive as well. Okay, well that's lined up against this. So I'm going to take that rook. I might just move this guy. It depends if this knight can move with a threat. So it could, for example, take a free pawn, because it's the discovery here, right? So I'm going to play rook b1, just line up with the queen. You never know. May prove useful. This is now not on, because I've got no knight defending. But I am now up in exchange. Opponent does have the bishop pair on quite an open board. And I don't have the best bishop in the world, so actually trading this bishop would not be a terrible idea. So that's the move I'd like to play. But I can't. Come here. It's going to take the pawn. So lots of space in black side of the board now. I'm worried about this bishop coming in. Maybe I just need to be thinking about getting the queen off the back rank, but it's not the easiest thing at this moment. That's what I want to do. So maybe what I need to do is move the knight, bishop d3, try and trade it off. Knight f3 is no bad thing. It's got quite a nice square here, or even here. So I think knight f3 is kind of in everyone's way there. Bishop here, try and trade the bishops off and connect the rooks. Then yeah, I'm kind of liking my position, But I got my pawn back, and so I got a piece for 3 pawns, and I've won an exchange. There we go. Okay, so the knight has gone. That means I could maybe instantly try and trade off the bishops. Bishop takes, queen takes isn't on because my queen's defending the knight. So is it back to this idea? Hang on. There, bishop takes, I'd have to take with the pawn. No, I think go back to the original plan. Knight there, bishop d3. And he's got nowhere. He can't retreat. He has to trade the bishop now because he can't go sideways. My pawns guard these, and he can't retreat because neither of those squares is protected. So either he defends the bishop or he trades off. So bishop here, bishop takes, queen takes. That's nice. My rooks have started to get more space now. Yeah, and I'm not really worried about this bishop at all anymore. Just have to keep my stuff on light squares, and there you go. That said, it did have one plan, didn't it? If he takes I can't take the queen. Now, shall I go there and let him trade off his light squared bishop? So I didn't really think through the defense of the rook, did I? Which bishop do I want to take in return for giving back the exchange? I have a light squared bishop which could well end up on that square. I think his dark squared bishop has more scope in the fact that I've got this and his bishop can move through it, right? Whereas the light squared bishop can't. But so in some ways, then this you could say the dark squared bishop is the better piece. On the other hand, his light squared bishop can contest my light squared bishop. Also, his light squared bishop can attack these pawns, whereas the dark squared can't. Something like this. Queen here attacks the bishop, threatens maybe to come there, backed up with mine. Yeah, I think so. I think so. So we are back to parity. But I have to make this guy, who's currently not very happy, but that square is lovely. Queen can come in. This pawn is undefended right now. The bishop is obviously undefended, so it has to go somewhere. So it can go 1. That's out because of the knight. There you go. Yeah, my knight's a little bit stuck right now. Can't attack the queen. This is an idea. That's not, and it is putting the rook in line with the king as well. It's not. It doesn't make the rook any worse, but is it the right use of my next turn? I don't know. That bishop is annoying. I don't really want it in my space, so I'm going to do that. See where he goes. That is not a bad idea, but in fact, oh, my bishop wants that square, I think. My knight really wants to come to there, doesn't he? And that is a lovely outpost, defended by my entire pawn chain, hitting the rook. Also kind of blocking the open file. This is the present issue. Can't get there, can't get there, can't get there, can't get there. So it's going to do all the way back here into this corner somewhere. And then he's decided to counterattack instead. Well, well, well. I think I can just drop my bishop here, can't I? Rook can't come in because knight guards. I also have an escape square anyway. That was a minute's think. So the idea with that was if I take this bishop, he wins this one. Maybe after a trade of queens. And then I've got a rook on my 7th rank, which I absolutely don't want. May play king f1, just to cover these squares. So right now, if he drops his rook in, he loses the exchange again. Because knight can take. So I'm still threatening the bishop. Once the bishop retreats, I can play my knight. It wants to go there, doesn't it? So what do I do? Do I defend this? Queen here hits the bishop and this pawn. Is there anything wrong with that? Do I have to worry about takes, giving up the exchange, king here? Loses another pawn. Got to tread carefully. I think maybe king f1 to put extra defense on there. I think that's the right thing to do right now. Maybe queen here, knight there. He might trade off. But I've got good queen. This pawn is a weakness, for sure. But this is a good fight, you know, for a 15-10. He's down to 4 minutes. I've got 6 3/4. 6 3/4? You having a laugh? Or is it 9 3/4? In Harry Potter. So this is my general idea right now, trying to bring my knight into here. It's quite an interesting game. We're getting some good games at 1100. Some quality play. Oh, he's done similar. He's moved his king. Okay. Now this does undefend this pawn. So if the queen comes in, I'll have to do something about it. Or there's this idea. Hitting the bishop. He's got a couple of options, both of which lose the pawn. So if he wants to save the pawn, he goes there. The knight's undefended. Is it time for the queen to make an incursion? It's a very good question. How safe? I'm quite safe on e1. Where does bishop come back in? To defend the rook. Doesn't really... No. That still loses the exchange. So I want this bishop off there. I want my knight to move. Bishop belongs there. It really wants to be there, doesn't it? I think. I could move my knight here now. Then bishop comes out. My knight could even go back via that. Or is it queen d3, knight d4? Yeah, I'm going to do this. I want this knight out of the way because I have to improve the bishop. Bishop conceivably could come to f3 as well, because anytime this pawn moves, we'll be looking down at that. I'm enjoying this game, I have to say. Okay, he's attacking my undefended rook. So I'm thinking, rook c2. Queen can't come in then. It's also defending this pawn, it's safe from this bishop. See, nearly everything apart from this pawn is now on light squares. Is he going to trade off his bishop? Don't really mind too much if he does. This bishop for this knight. He's not really using his knights very well right now. Okay, well, speak too soon. Okay, what's undefended? That's undefended. No, it's not. It's defended by the queen. The rook is undefended, and so is the bishop. I could attack them both from this square. So I'm thinking about queen g6 again. Bishop goes there. I've got this, attacking rook and bishop. So he has to move the rook across. So yeah, he's attacking my queen. So it is going to be this move. You go there. I could then bring my knight in safely, which I quite like. Is that even an idea? I've got check as well. There might be an attack in there, you know? There might. See, that check's not on if he does play bishop f8. But if bishop f8, I think if I do this, I'm attacking the rook, so he really needs to move the rook or defend it. The only way you can defend it is, nope, that doesn't work. So I think he would have to move the rook away. So if bishop here, queen here, rook has to go back. It'll almost certainly go back next to the king. Because why put it on an unprotected... Oh, well, that's another possibility. Really want to move my knight, but... Okay, let's throw in the check then. Why not? Sod it. I think he has to do that. I could come in with the knight. The rook will be pinned. Right, I'm on 4 minutes 12. He's under 2 minutes now. There we go. Okay, now what's the idea? Do I take the open file? Threaten to come here? That looks like checkmate. Queen can't defend. That is mate. because the rook is pinned. It's an absolute pin. So now you've got a problem. Look at these pieces all kind of offside. How does he prevent mate? That doesn't work. Knight box takes, still mate. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, there you go. So, if this now, he can lift the king. Yeah, there was one way to prevent mate. I have a queen check as well. It's here. If my knight goes there, he could trade off. I think I need to do it. I really want to activate this bishop. It's been annoying me for too long. He takes, I take back. The rook is still pinned. My rook defends. That's undefended right now. Very interesting position. Rook e1. See, these squares are actually guarded by the two knights, interestingly. Can't come in there. There also works. Takes, I just take. I think we're right there. He goes check, I can move back. He's on 1 minute 5. Knight's defended twice. If their knight takes, pawn takes, then I'm threatening mate again. Okay. I'm going to drop the rook back this time. See there, knight takes and pawn takes, and having a pawn on that square is really valuable because it's covering this square. So I think that is my next idea. If he doesn't take and just moves the king, I take this knight and his pawns are messed up. Okay, thought you'd have to do that. Question is queen or rook. I'm going to take with queen. Okay. One way to get out of a fork. Wow. Bishop might move there. But then I get... No, I don't. Hang on. Bishop here. Hang on. You take my queen, I take yours. You take my rook then, though. There, you take my rook, I take your queen. There, you trade queens, my rook is saved. Queen takes bishop, rook takes queen. There we go. Save the material. Right, now your knight's under attack. So I've got, what, 3 extra pawns? Yeah. So he's actually got 2 knights. There's 2 knights against the bishop. I have 3 extra pawns, and they are these guys in the centre. So all in the middle 4. Okay. You're likely to go there. I think. I mean, what I do really want to start pushing some pawns up the board. That's how this game will be won. Opponent's down to 50 seconds. Okay, you are attacking this pawn. And if this, you've got 2 attackers on there. But I've got 2 defenders. Actually, bishop takes first, so. And he's down to a minute. There is this weak pawn still. Good stuff. Pushing this one's difficult. Okay. Right, so he's attacking that, it's defended. Do I do this? Plays his knight to here. That is defended. Do I just go after this pawn now then? He took 20 seconds over his last move. Pushes, I've just got this. Rook there could defend. Oh, what? Okay, he's putting 2 attackers on this and hitting the rook. So I'll take the pawn. He takes here. All right. Let's finally put my bishop on the square it wanted to go on all along. Are you going to go here? Then I've got bishop here, maybe. Be nice to get the rook off this. Bishop here, and if I can get this pawn forward, that'd be nice, but we'll see. 20 seconds now. And this remaining G pawn is now going to be relatively easy pickings. Okay, gone there, right. Attacking that. Oh, and giving check. Gosh, missed that. I want to come out into the board, don't I? Right, he takes here. This now, got 2 attackers on, there's 2 defenders. I think I'm just going to move my king up. Taking there as well, gosh. Drop this back. There the pawn's defended by my bishop and hits his rook. So if rook goes here, I might just come after this pawn. This is the sharp end of the game when I can start to get very loose. Okay, he's attacking. Attacking once. Rook does defend. Let's play this. Down to 20 seconds again. And to get this pawn, then it's Harry time, I think. I think I will give up this pawn for this pawn. and then use my kingside pawn majority for 3 seconds. Oh no, finished on time. Okay, well, let's have a quick look at the game review. I think it gives me 1 review per day. Both in the 60s, and a blunder from me there. I had 2 blunders in the game. Okay, what were they? Yeah. Didn't care for this. I'm +4 here. So what I should have done, instead of trying to force the issue, is trying to force the queen back to here or something like that, isn't it? And then here, this is a winning position, and I found the best move. Okay. Good. Some really good moves. And then I blow it with that. You overlooked an opportunity to win a queen. Whoa. What? So instead of knighting, it was rook. Put pressure on the pin. Did I even consider that move? It's a great fork. What does he do? Yeah. And that's just completely winning. Missed that entirely. What I thought I was doing there with the knight. Well, I thought I was going in here. King E1 is a blunder. This is my other blunder. Because after bishop takes, rook takes. Oh, damn. Well, there we go. So, rating-wise, what does it think? Both of us were absolutely awful, and I played dubiously throughout, but I got the win in the end, even though I was actually technically worse. So, yeah, lots to take away from that. 6 mistakes, 3 misses and 2 blunders on my part. Not my best day at the office, but I got the points. And now 11:51. So I will take it. But yeah, not great. Yeah, just not great. Just not great. Not a good game, but scraped through. But that's so. Both of us in 60%, man. And 850. Is that my poorest performance yet? Anyway, so I think we draw a line under this at this point. But, still, a win's a win. Hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you for watching. See you later.